Hold on, I'm opening my Serato. It needs to be done. Yeah, Lou. Yeah, Lou, we gotta talk. We gotta talk. I gotta talk. I'm not a big internet guy. I recognize that. But Akademiks, just once, I need to let this be heard. I can't do it on the radio. Giving him time on the radio when our listeners don't know who he is does not make sense. But on Instagram, I feel like people know who he is. So let's just spend a minute. And I don't really care how many people see it. The words need to be said. Because the level of bass in that dude's voice was so crazy to me. Yo, the bass in Akademiks' voice when he talks about me and Ebro from the comfort of his Twitch chair, the level of bass and yelling in his voice. Yo, let me tell you guys about when I worked at Complex, the way that dude carried himself in that building. Let me tell you about the level of titmouse that dude was in that building and the way he walked in the hallways. And the speed walk that dude does to avoid confrontation in real life. Akademiks. The level of bitch in that dude. Okay? I am one of the softest dudes publicly in the history of hip hop. I'm from Chevy Chase, Maryland. I went to Hebrew school. Okay? With people named Shlomo and Ari and Avi. Okay? This may be the only dude in the game who I would have zero hesitation scrapping with. Matter of fact, I know you're not much of a celebrity. You're just like a fat boy on Twitch. I would do a straight up celebrity boxing with you. I will Jake Paul Akademiks for charity. Mind you, for charity. There has to be a purpose. You are the softest man in the game. Okay? Because here's the difference. I'm soft. I don't fight. I'm not a fighter. I have no interest in fighting. I'm not for fighting. I'm not here for it. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Let's get a few things out of the way. Because Akademiks did a video today where he talked a lot about me and a lot about Ebro. And I admit he was coming back at me. Because I called him a talentless hack on the air. Which I've done many times because he's a talentless hack. And I get that he doesn't like it. And I get that he thinks it's me trying to catch up with his internet clout. And let me be clear. Akademiks, you crushed me on the internet. You make more money than me on the internet. Your videos get way more views than me on the internet. You are hotter on the internet. And by the way, good for you. I don't even doubt that you have money. I believe you. You have money. Akademiks, you made real money. You know, go get some Mountain Dew and Slim Jims and whatever fat schlubs who play video games eat. And yes, I'll make fat jokes about you. And I'm not Anthony Joshua. But relative to you, my guy, relative to you, I get to actually talk like I'm in shape. You pot-bellied bitch. You're the only person I can do that to. Because you're that flabby and soft. Me, Peter Rosenberg. I look tough and in shape relative to you. So I say all of that to say, congratulations. You've made a lot of money on the internet. You get mad clicks. Let's focus on what I said about you. My problem with you is you're not talented. You exploit drama and real life problems of people to make money. That's what I said the problem with you was. You exploit under the guise of hip hop culture, which sometimes you dabble in music, but where the clicks really come from and where that house really got paid for was in the clicks around beef and drama. that affects real people, and your fat ass makes money off of that. You responded to me not by shooting it down. You didn't say, no, Rosenberg, you're wrong. That's not true. That's not who I am. You just talked about how rich you are. Bro, I'm not doubting that you made money. I know you made money. That's the whole point. You made money off of real lives and propagating bullshit. So back again. I was a podcast innovator. You were right what you said earlier. Never made good money off of it. Dropped the ball. I'm not a good businessman. I admit that. I'm not a good businessman, okay? So we created the entire hip hop podcast genre, and fortunately other people have done great with it, and I'm proud of those people. I didn't make money off that. I'm not a good businessman. But what do I stand for? All you could do when you looked at that video game system I don't understand Twitch because I have a penis that actually it works physically. It's still capable of getting things done. I don't play video games like that. So when you were looking at your video game system talking, all you could talk about was the money you've made. What the fuck does that have to do with the culture? You don't know that this is about more than that? Now listen, I'm not gonna lay out my accolades and the different places that I work and the money that I've made and the zip code that I own a home in. I'm not gonna go into all those things because it's not about that. I'm not as poppin' as you on the internet among other dudes who also can't get any ass ever in life. You're hotter with them. I get respect from the icons that I looked up to in the fucking culture. Do you understand that? Big Pun's family came and gave me a Big Pun worn outfit that he had worn on Moesha that I have framed. His wife and son gave that to me framed as a gift. Why? Because I rep for the honor and legacy of Big Pun on the radio. I made it from DC on my own, got up here and repped for the culture. And I understand that right now, honestly, there are not a lot of me's needed. I don't think I'd hire a me in 2020. I'd probably say, I don't know if we need to get the perspective of that guy. But at that time, I was novel. I worked really hard to get there. And when I got on, I made it about the culture. You want to talk shit about the money I make? How about this? Get ready for this, act. Hold up. A lot of people think that what I do is the morning show when I just sit there and talk and joke around with Ebro. What I was brought up to New York to do was real late on Sunday nights where I break artists. Do you know what I get paid for that? $0. I only get paid for the morning show. I get $0. I do it because I wanted the cats that I grew up listening to hear what I'm playing and to get put on. That was important to me, to hear what the new artists were doing. So I don't even disagree with your premise of making money. You do. That's what proves the point. All the money you make is off bullshit. Bullshit. 6ix9ine? Bro, you know the biggest criticism people have of me? The main thing I hear, Laura, I'm fine. I promise. If I go too far, Laura, I'll stop. If you tell me, I'll stop. I promise. If Laura says I have to stop, I listen to Laura. However, the main thing that cats say to me is that okay, I'm calming, Laura. I'm calming. Sorry, when Mama Style says calm down, I have to commentate. But the main thing people said to me I went too hard for Kendrick Lamar. You need to get off Kendrick Lamar's nuts. You're in the history books, you're going to be associated with 6ix9ine, the Donald Trump of rappers, a fraud. So listen, you're right. Honestly, I was like the first generation of hip hop internet. And now I do radio and television. It's not really my world. I give it up. You and Adam 22 and all the other cats who do that kind of stuff, it's not for me. I moved on. I do morning radio. I do afternoon radio. I do my television work. I work with big companies and I have a great time. And the hip hop stuff that I do on Sunday nights is strictly for me, for the culture. It's just underground hip hop. It's Stove God Cooks and Flea Lord and Rock Marcy and real hip hop shit you know nothing about. Nothing about. Because the only thing you care about is whatever drama and bullshit garners clicks. That's what you do. So your entire point worked only to prove my point. You have money. You bought your mom a crib. That's great. I haven't seen the crib. I don't know how nice it is. But you bought your mom a crib. You bought your mom a Benz. By the way, those are cool things. But at what cost? How many people's lives were impacted negatively to get you that money? I get my money talking truthfully on the radio about issues that I care about promoting artists that I love who deserve to have their voices heard, that I help prop up. If you look in the history books at the people whose careers I'm associated with and helping them ascend, you know, from a Kendrick Lamar to Tyler and Earl and Frank Ocean to Cole or Odyssey the list goes on and on. Action Bronson, ASAP Rocky. Look at the list. Go look at the list of people who credit me for being the first person to ever play them on radio. And then go look at the artists you're associated with. So I'm not mad that you made money. I'm honestly not hating on that part. I'm hating on how you made money. When I got on, it was, what can I do to make hip hop proud? What can I do to represent for hip hop? You've never cared what the people before you did. You never tried to do right by it. You've only done right for you and your pockets. That's what the whole thing's about. You don't stand for shit. So you can have all the clout and clicks that you want. You don't stand for shit. And at the end of the day, real hip hop, the cats who created this don't respect you. They don't even know you. So go play your video games. I'm sorry for the fat jokes and bringing up celebrity boxing. That's anger and stupid, and that's base. Although you did, bro, I can't. Actually, you know what? I'm not sorry. Because that bass you talk with in your voice, like you're hard, that bass like you've actually ever, I forgot one part. As soft as I am, I'm actually out in the street. Like when I first got on, I was hosting in clubs. I was out DJing. By myself, always. Maybe me and Hip Hop Mike, me and Cypher Sounds, but I was out moving around. You hide in your basement and talk with bass in your voice. You're soft. No one on earth is scared of you. Get that bass out of your voice, because I know one thing. You would never in life talk with that bass in your voice in real life. Ever. I never talked hard about anybody. I talked respectfully, and if I misstepped, I apologized, and I walked as smoothly as I could, because I'm in New York all the time, out in the street by myself. You're hiding in a suburb New Jersey basement. Trust me, you have no real credentials. The little fanboys who sit around on Twitch, that's all you have. That's nothing. There's no legacy. Do you get it? I didn't care about the money. I don't care about money. I've done pretty well. I'm happy financially, but I don't care about it. It was only to be respected by those that I loved and respected myself in hip hop. That's it. From the time that I was 14 years old and met Biz Markie for the first time, that's all I ever cared about. And I know I've upset people. I've made mistakes. I've apologized when I misstepped. But through and through, the people who listen to me on a regular basis, day in, day out, they know that when push comes to shove, I love hip hop. That's my priority. That's the main thing I've always cared about. You love money. You don't really care how you get it. So enjoy your views. I hope it feels really good to you to get those views. And like you said, maybe it lasts, maybe it won't last. I know one thing though. I've been around in this for like going on 20. Why don't you holler at me when you make it to being in the game and relevant for like 6? I'm 41, my guy. And you know, if I say my guy, I'm sincere. I got my first radio job at WPGC in DC when I was 20 years old. Yeah, you're an old man. You're damn right. And by the way, Ebro and I, we take our lumps from people being old, etc. Yeah, we like holding people accountable. And I know I'm not always the perfect person to do it. I get it well enough to understand when I myself can be problematic. I do. I get that and I appreciate it. But when it comes to you, academics, there's no respect for you, bro. You've never done any. There's no real contributions. People just know they can use you for clicks. So get your clicks and get your bag. And I will continue to get respect from the people that I care about and honor in this culture and music. And you can pretend that it's about that, but really when push comes to shove, it's about drama and bullshit with you. And not yours, other people's. Real life people who have to deal with real life repercussions because of the bullshit you propagate. By the way, 6IX9INE is dead. The podcast is back. Yes, the business failure and podcast that is Peter Rosenberg and Cypher Sounds is back. And no, this was not all planned, but we did drop our first episode in a very long time today. 6IX9INE is dead. Go subscribe to the OG Hip Hop Podcast. No theme this time around. We're just talking, having fun, and talking hip hop. Not going to do stuff like this. We are there to talk. This time, on this most recent episode, we did have a serious conversation with Mano about what's going on in the game. But in general, we're just talking about hip hop and having fun. But I don't like getting on and exploding like this. But when I hear someone talk with that much bass in their voice, like they're really going to do something, I'm going to respond to that. And frankly, if you were someone of concern, I wouldn't be responding. I'd be calling someone and being like, yo, how do I get so-and-so to calm down? I really don't want problems with them. Guess what? Didn't feel the need to make that phone call with you. All right, pal? Go subscribe to 6IX9INE is dead. And go listen to some good music while you're at it. Go listen to some Stove God Cooks today. Go listen to some Flea Lord. Go listen to some Griselda today. Go listen to some Weil and Starker, some Zumo beats. Go listen to some Rashid Chappelle and Buck Wild. Go listen to that Static Selector, that new Nick Caution. Go listen to Brownsville Ka. There's such an amazing amount of great music out right now that I hope you guys will, if you've been watching this and you want to know the kind of stuff that I'm up on right now, go listen to Willie the Kid. Have you sat with Willie the Kid? New Billy Dan's album. Go listen to that. Phony People and Joey Badass, hot record. Shouts to Crime Apple. Shouts to Mock Hami, your old Droog. Jay Cyanide, Second Generation Woo. Shouts to Freddie Gibbs, Boldy James. There's a lot of good hip hop out right now. So go look for that. That's it.
Get filthy rich on Utrecht. I'm going to 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 get filthy rich on Utrecht. I'm going